Hey guys, what's going on? Prowler and here. You guys know what to do. It's always like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get into today's video. So I will be reviewing the Chelsea Wolves game and I guess a little bit of our season as a whole after this bit of news, but this is some Kai Havertz news. After qualifying for Champions League, it can now go quickly with the deal of Chelsea and Kai Havertz. Leverkusen does not insist on participating of Kai Havertz in the Europa League. Now the negotiations are getting hot. So basically, we're going to see some Kai Havertz stuff heating up real quick, and that is basically because we beat Wolves 2-0 and qualified for the Champions League, and the deal can now happen. I guess that was one of the stipulations in the Kai Havertz sort of wanted. He wanted to make sure he's probably going to a Champions League club, but probably still would have come to us either way, but now it's going to make it like even more so, especially given that Leverkusen do not expect him to play in the Europa League competition in August. So basically it's all going to be good. We can get him into the club. Yes, he won't be able to play for us in like the FA Cup final if it happened before then, and the Champions League when that happens, even though we're 3-0 down, you know, it's going to be a mountain to climb. He is able to join us before that. So as long as we can sort the money side out soon, then this deal is going to happen. I mean, it's great news in all. I still think if we hadn't have qualified, we still probably would have got Kai Havertz, because he'd see like, okay, maybe next year in Europa League. And then the year after that, with the players we brought in, we should almost definitely be in the Champions League with Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, and Hakim Ziyech. As well as Chelsea would still have, be looking at bringing in a left back, maybe a goalkeeper. So yeah, all in all, very good news. We're going to see some advancements in the Kai Havertz stuff real quick, it seems. So Chelsea managed to beat Wolves 2-0 in the end. It was obviously a very nervous game coming into it, and thankfully we managed to get the win. Olivier Giroud getting a goal. Again, I think that his last 4 goals all came in added time at like half-time, so 45 plus minutes, and that's just weird. Like, Giroud is the guy for that at the moment, it seems, for getting a goal just before half-time, make that half-time talk a little sweeter. And then Mason Mount getting on the score sheet with that beautiful free kick in the 46th minute. So fantastic. Exactly what we needed. 1-0 would have been good going in at halftime with the free kick, but Giroud getting a goal as well was just massive. It really just was. So well done on the guys. It was a big performance. It was a tough game to come into, because Wolves have been good in general all of this season, been one of the standout teams, and it was always going to be a tough game. You know, like, we were all seeing Wolves and we were like, oh my god, why couldn't it have been an easier team? Like, this is a very tough game to go into, and the boys performed amazingly well. The team averaging just under a 7 rating, which is pretty solid. Of course, Willy Caballero came in goal. We'll start going through the players. Willy Caballero came in goal and actually had a really good performance. Like, he didn't have much to do, but what he did have to do, he did really well. Like, there was a moment where the ball was sort of like crossed in, but kind of shot at goal, and he ended up just about controlling it and getting the tip on and put it away from the danger area. It was all good, and then made a couple small little saves. If we take a look, how many saves did he make overall? 1 save, yeah, so nothing major, but when he was called upon, did well, and his distribution seemed quite good as well. So all in all, very good. Lampard did go with the 3-4-3 formation. So Rudiger in the back line looked pretty solid. Zuma was very solid. Like, that, Zuma had an amazing game, and with all the links we've seen of people looking at buying Zuma, I really do not think we should be getting rid of this guy, man. Like, he is, combine him with a good centre-back, and I think we're solid. Azpilicueta with a 7.4 rating, of course, been very consistent all season, even been getting assists like quite regularly. I think he got like 6 assists maybe in the league this season. So Azpi's done very good again, and of course that yellow card he got was his first of the season. It just had to be, just like Lingard scoring his only goal, or any goal involvements throughout the entire season in like the 98th minute or something. It just had to be that Dave would get his only yellow card of the season with his last tackle, more or less. Alonso on the left side with a 7.6 rating, had a good game. Could have seen some maybe better crossing from him, but all in all, pretty solid, dominated the game, and was good going defensively as well. Won a lot of headers as well, if we take a look. Yeah, he won 4 aerial duels, so all in all did pretty good. Kovacic 7.9 rating was really good. As I've mentioned before, I want to see him in some games. He just doesn't seem to utilize his ability of picking up the ball, spinning around a player and just driving forward and maybe going past another and laying it off, and he was doing that perfectly today. Had a fantastic game, Mateo Kovacic. 6.7 for Jorginho, and didn't really stand out all that much. As you can see, a 91% pass success rate, so all in all pretty decent. 8.5% of our possession went through him, so he was kind of influential, but in general just nothing spectacular today, was just sort of there. Reece James with a 7.3 rating on the other side did very good and was pretty solid defensively and going forward, even with Adama Traore at some points when he came on was over on Reece James' side, and I was like, oh my god, that is going to be a hell of a guy to try and stop, but the boys did it very well. Adama Traore was quiet throughout most of the game really, after he came on. Christian Pulisic with a 6.4. We all thought he was going to be our standout guy in this game. He was going to like win us the game with a couple goals or something. Was very quiet and was a little bit disappointing, but it was a very tough game for him to get into, and thankfully other people stepped up anyway. And maybe, their defense focusing, because they were definitely 2-ing up on our creative players at times. Maybe them 2-ing up on Pulisic was sort of a sacrifice that had to happen for Mason Mount and Giroud to get in there and get their goals. So all in all, a disappointing game, but we know we can expect big things from Pulisic. I don't expect this to be the norm. Giroud with a 7.7 rating, of course, getting the goal. Fantastic. This guy's insane. I think he scored in 7 games out of the 8 since the restart. That is some insane form. Giroud is one of the best informed strikers in the league at the moment, so he's been doing fantastic. And I got to give a lot of credit to Giroud. Glad we've kept him on for another year. Mason Mount, obviously man of the match for me, got a goal and an assist and was just fantastic, and just under 90% pass success rate as well. Made a tackle, he was just solid all game. 2 shots, got 1 goal. The free kick was beautifully placed as well. 100% credit to him. Of course, Wolves, the front line was all very poor, as you can see across here. These ratings are very low. And then the rest of the team, not really all that solid. The keeper not had a great game. I will give it William Wally did have a good game. He was pretty solid, but did concede 2 goals, so can't have been that solid. Our substitutes, I thought Tammy did good coming on. He definitely sort of shored up the game. He did have a moment towards the end. I think if we take a look here, Tammy Abraham has attempt save low to the centre, out of the box, right-footed on a fast break. In that scenario, he definitely could have played that through to Pedro, I think. It was out on his right side, and I saw Pedro run in after he'd just come on, of course, and it was a sort of farewell moment for Pedro. I really wish Tammy had played that into Pedro because for him to get a goal with his last kick of the game potentially at Stamford Bridge would have been lovely, but Tammy took it himself, obviously trying to find his goal scoring form. You can't blame him too much. It was a bit selfish, yes, but you can't say oh, that was awful, he's an awful player or something. He's trying to find his goal scoring form so that if he plays against Arsenal or whatever, he's going to be ready to go. So don't blame him too much. It was very nice to see Pedro come on. I'm glad he did, and do just want to say, that's probably the last we'll see of Pedro. Thank you, Pedro. Had an amazing career with Chelsea, won some great trophies, had an amazing career overall, to be fair to Pedro. Absolute top player, top professional, and seems like a lovely guy. So thank you, Pedro, for everything you've given the club. Hudson-Odoi came on, was pretty quiet, didn't really see much of him at all. Ruben with a 6.2, again, didn't really have that much to do, so not going to big him up or bring him down. It was just the sake of making a substitution to see the game out. Ross Barkley on a 6.1, again, didn't really do anything, but overall was good. And then the team stats, we averaged, as I said, a 7 rating. We had 11 shots to their 5, which was very solid, actually. You got to admit, against this Wolves team, that was pretty decent if you ask me. Possession, we had about 62% to their 37, definitely dominated the game there. Pass success was much better on our side. They were very sloppy in possession today. It was very weird to see. Even on the dribbles, errors won pretty even, but they just edged it. We made more tackles, 3 corners to each, and dispossessed 15 times each. So all in all, solid game from the boys. I'm very chuffed they managed to do it, because this game could have been a banana skin, even though United ended up winning because of Bruno Fernandes on a penalty again, and a goal from Jesse Lingard of all people. So we didn't even necessarily need to win this game, but we did. We got the points. and we're in the Champions League for next season, which I think is a massive achievement for Frank Lampard. At the beginning of the season, I would have put us in the top 4. I thought we'd still be able to do it because we, just knowing some of the youth players we've got, some of the players we were bringing in, we had Kovacic, Pulisic, these were big names that we were bringing in, and that we, were gelling in with the squad well. So all in all, top 4 is what I expected, but I knew it was going to be a difficult task, and we did manage it in the end, especially, thankfully, with teams like Leicester dropping out, because had Leicester continued their form, we probably wouldn't have made it. So, we do have to be a little considerate that we did have Leicester in some awful form after the restart, but they did have hard fixtures in all fairness, so maybe it was just the balance of the season overall. But yeah, overall, great season. I'm very chuffed with it. I'm going to be doing a video, I think, on my player of the year. I think I'm going to do a separate sort of analysis for that one. There's a few different names I've got in my head for it, so we'll definitely be doing that. Of course, we've got the FA Cup game on Sunday, I think it is, against Arsenal, so that's still going to be one more big game, and then the Bayern game, if you can't account that one still could go either way, I suppose, even though Bayern are 3-0 up. But yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date with any news. And of course, we'll be previewing and reviewing the Arsenal game. So that's going to be the end of this one, guys. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.